Welcome back to the Mrshowtym podcast. Uh, Today I'm gonna be doing an early preview of the third Springboks versus Wales 2022 match preview. Right? Um, it's funny. The first Test series weekend, the first match of the Test series, it was pretty much like a clean sweep of the Southern Hemisphere, even although the Springboks should have lost, but they won. Last night was a clean sweep of the Northern Hemisphere teams, where the Springboks should have won, but they lost. Ladies and gentlemen, I appreciate your comments, you guys, your feedback you guys give me in the comment section. But some of you guys, man, I still respect you, but as much as, I appreciate your comments, some of you guys just say the most WTF things ever. I mean, look at this guy here. This guy came into my previous video. He said,
don't worry. You should, Rasmus and Jacques need about their smartness. We should trust them.
What do you say now, lad? What do you say now? How does it feel? Looking at last night's results. How does it feel? Not very good, huh? I know what I'm talking about, But anyway, hey, keep those comments coming. Let me know your thoughts. It's a public platform. I'm not scolding you from commenting. I'm just like, some of your comments are like, wow, illogical. But anyway, I want to speak about you see, last night wasn't a matter of something went wrong, because to say that something went wrong would imply that the Springboks had a particular game plan set in motion, and for whatever reason it went left. It got derailed. There was no game plan last night. There's nothing that went wrong, because there was nothing, period, about the Springboks game plan. It's almost like Jacques Nienaber selected these new debutants, these new players, and throughout the whole week, he was just making them do fitness exercises, and he was just like, okay, guys, stretch and warm up, and on Saturday, just run out there in the field and just do whatever. No game plan. I didn't see anything, and I said that in my previous video as well. There was nothing. Not an ounce of a structure. Wales seemed like they were out of fuel as well. Like they didn't want to play. They shouldn't have won. We should have secured the series. But at least with Wales, they have a set piece move. This is one thing I've been crying about for the longest time. What happened to the Springboks set move, that element of surprise? With previous coaches, especially with Ackerman, the Springboks had some elusive element of surprise. Especially with the backline players, when the ball went to the backline. Jean de Villiers and Brian Habana, those are the guys, those are the legends, the seniors that really sparked some individual brilliance. Something that wasn't necessarily coached, but just seeing the game plan in front of you and seeing the gap and say, okay, I'm gonna just I'm gonna hit the gap, or I'm gonna kick it and chase and regather, or I'm gonna wait for an intercept. Number 10 seems to be, unaware, so I'm gonna just rush up and just intercept the ball and just and run, make a run for the try line. And that's exactly what John de Villiers did for the longest time. That's something that you don't coach. It's an ability to spot an opportunity and take it. But in South Africa, we with these coaches, they don't encourage that. They say, "Oh no, it's too risky." Well, if it's too risky, then what are you doing on the rugby field? Then why are you playing rugby? What are you doing then? Then don't play rugby then. Please leave. Don't play rugby at all if you're going to have that sort of mentality. Oh no, it's too risky. We refuse to pass the ball to the wingers often because, oh, it's too risky. Then what are you playing rugby for? This is the same reason. I mean, and every time, and on top of that, you don't just pass the winger as like boop 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 winger from 9 to 10 to 12 to 13 to winger, and then you start running. No. 13 has the responsibility to create chances, to draw in some defenders, and then to offload to the winger just in time. Or what 10 and 12 can do is they can draw in some defenders by going into contact and then immediately recycling the ball, making a long skip pass to the wing. Because, they least expect it. And that's exactly how Wales scored their try last night. But we want to do is play textbook rugby. Okay, go balls from 9 to 10 to 12 to 13 to 14 or 11. You're just shifting the ball. And the defensive line is just waiting. It's like, oh, okay, boom, tackle that guy. Mind you, this is test level rugby. This is not super rugby. This is not provincial rugby. Heck, even with high school rugby, there's an ounce of coaching, some strategies in place. You'd think that at test level, man. And then Jacques, you see, the camera shows Jacques sitting there in the coaching box, looking all surprised, like, oh. Man, just screw you, okay? Screw you. Screw you, Jacques. From the bottom of my heart, man, just get lost, man. Continuously coaching this whole box kicking thingy, which I'll admit, Jaden Hendrickson, he did his box kicking was a little bit better than Faf's Clark's kicking. It was all a matter of, just retaining the ball. When Jaden Hendrickson did his box kicking a little bit better, the distance was just the right amount of distance for, the backline players to contest. But again, we don't have any back three players that are really good with the aerial ball skills. Not really. We don't have it. And again, but still, Jacques pretty much, it was still typical Erasmus / Jacques Nienaber coaching style. Box kicking. And of course, when we conceded penalties, the camera showed Jacques Nienaber in the coaching box like, oh. You, meneer do not know how to coach. You do not. The same thing goes for Drastic. Same thing goes for Dion Davids. The coach, it's not so much as the players. You're telling these players not to be free and do what they. You're telling these players to do certain things. You're telling your scrum half to box kick. You're telling your 10 not to run into contact when he sees the gap. You're telling your outside your centers not to pass the wing because it's risky. I've already accepted we are going to lose the Rugby World Cup. Oh, before we go in depth, you might notice that I'm not wearing my usual Springbok jersey with my usual Springbok videos because right now I just don't want to. I really don't. Actually, I'm wearing my Varsity Cup jersey. Shout out to my Orange Army of 2016, right? Coaching is poor in SA Rugby. Very, very poor. We are limiting players from doing offloads. We are limiting our players from doing cross kicks. We are limiting our players to take risky moves because it's risky. And we don't really want to we're scared of doing that element of surprise because it's risky. And when you play stupid games, you get stupid prizes, such as last night's results. Also, there's another thing in SA Rugby, in South African Rugby. When we're ahead, we tend to take things for granted. I mean, Andre Pollard's penalty kick last night. In his mind, we were ahead. Oh, the pace of the game is slow. The Welsh are pretty much out of the game, and he took that close range penalty, and he just swerved it like went out to the left. He just butchered it, and he took it very quickly too, nonchalantly. He was like, and then he's nodding his head. He's like, Pollard, if you had taken just an extra 5 seconds just to compose yourself and aim, you would have kicked it over. Why is it that when Andre Pollard misses crucial kicks, the Springboks tend to lose? Have you noticed? It happened in England in 2018, that kick that just went slightly astray, end up losing. And of course, Andre Esterhuizen, he's been playing well in the English Vivia Premiership, and you say it's Bayern boy, you say player of the tournament, huh? Yeah. He is your beloved player of the tournament. Knocked down the ball. He didn't play bad, but I don't see what you guys are going doolally over. I don't see his selection. The same thing with Jesse Creel. I have no idea why that man is still in the squad. For what? What on earth did he do yesterday? He doesn't have any skills to join defenders and create spaces for the winger. That's the job. That's the role of an outside center. Go into contact, be elusive, and then create chances for your winger to score. Jesse just gets the ball and he goes straight. I did a video about 5 Springboks that should not be in the squad. Go ahead and check that out. And that video it's gaining some views. Oh gee, I wonder why. I'd like to address what Nick Mallet, some of the match analysts like Olani, Nas Botha, and Nick Mallet. I really love those gentlemen, their commentary. I really learn a lot from them, just listening to them talk. Um, I watched one of their previous segments, on Supersport, a show called TMO, and they were speaking to Brendan Nell, and they were talking about who's the right player, who's the right coach who should be brought in, and then it's gonna take time to to build the building blocks to instill the culture. He need the coach needs time, and okay, on paper that makes all the sense in the world, but in reality, sometimes no, sometimes yes. Because Eddie Jones was a late appointment in 2016 to England rugby. One man. He came into the mix and he changed up the whole England squad for the better. I don't know what kind of milk he gave those English players, but in 2016, England was undefeated. They had a perfect match-winning streak. Now tell me again how a coach needs time. He needs time to gel the players. They give them time. Just to assert himself properly, just to gel within the Springboks. Tell that to Eddie Jones. One man. It's not like they reshuffled the whole. No. It was just one man, and the whole complexion of the England squad changed. Undefeated in 2016. Tell me how that happened. Compared to us, we want to shuffle things around, and then we want to shuffle a whole lot of players around and coaches around, coaching staff around, because of transformation and quotas. There's nothing wrong with expecting a different result quickly. But you can expect a different result tomorrow if you're going to coach things that make sense, if your coaching expertise are in top notch, if you select the right players, if you manage the right players, if you mentor the right players, if you mentor players properly, if you have an attack method, if you have an element of surprise. Last night, there was no element of surprise. It's almost like, again, like I said, the guys were just warming up throughout the whole week. I doubt they did any ball skills. I doubt they did any, line-out tricks. Some teams have these line-out tricks where they throw the ball, line-out, and then they pass it to the front player, and the hooker just breaks through to score. Some very silly mistakes yesterday, very silly mistakes. We get a penalty 5 meters in the opposition's half, 5 meters from the try line, and then something just always has to happen within the scrum, where I don't know whether it's Malcolm Marx, his foot was up, or they advance early in the scrum. And then, or maybe one player is standing up, or we get a scrum, and then we do this silly thing that really annoys me. We get a scrum, and then we in our own half, and then we try to shove the scrum to milk a penalty. But then instead of that, what happens? This happens. And then, penalty to the opposition side. Instead of just feeding the ball and then immediately just using it just to get out of your own half or kick it downfield, try to kick it into touch without kicking in full. Just make sure it bounces before it gets out. When we're in our own half, we do this. This is the only risky thing that we should condemn. This whole scrummaging thing, you're trying to shove the scrum, and then it doesn't quite happen, The ball is still in the middle, and then it's penalty to the opposition. And then all they have to do is just kick a penalty kick over. And that's how we lose. Instead of just, same thing happened with the Wallabies last year. We had it. We were in the lead. All we had to do is just feed it was our scrum, it was our ball. Just feed the ball into scrum and just get it out and just play it to 10, let 10 just kick it out. Just get out of your own half. Just use the ball. But no, we want to shove the scrum. Ja, ons is groot mense, ja. Ons sal die scrum shove, ja. Ja, shove the scrum, boys. How about trying something different with the scrum? How about using the ball early, quickly? You recycle the ball with the scrum. Don't listen to me. I do not have any coaching qualifications. I have never coached a team before. Do not listen to me. I'm just a guy, an average Joe, sitting in front of a camera, just running my mouth, talking nonsense. That's all I'm doing. What I'm doing right now. Don't listen to me. What I am using though is just simple logic and common sense, which is something that our coaching staff is not using. In closing, you know who I would have in my coaching staff if it was up to me? I would have Johan Ackerman in my coaching staff as the head coach. I would bring back Swys as my assistant coach. I would maybe drop Jacques back. Actually, no. You know what? I'll just fire Jacques altogether. Just get rid of him. I would bring in maybe I don't know. Maybe I'll keep Jacques as my defense coach. I'll also bring in who? I'll maybe bring in maybe Jake. Okay, I was gonna say Jake White. I'm not sure if he's allowed to come back. But anyway, I'll have pretty much Johan Ackerman is my head coach and Swys is my attacking coach. Because that guy's attack, it was at our best. The Springboks, this is how we beat the All Blacks thoroughly in 2018. We varied the attack. We had some of the loose fours join the wings with options left and right. We varied the attack. Oh, and then just before the World Cup, Swys got sick. How convenient. Just in time